This week's POW, we're talking about mock elections, and this really is going to be an exercise in equivalent fractions and proportions. So let's read through the problem first, and we'll discuss each part. In Mrs. Swanson's 7th grade social studies class, students are holding mock elections to learn about our nation's voting process. In this class exercise, Hannah, Natalie, Mia, and Gianna are running for class Republican bid for president. During the primary vote, Hannah received 12% of the votes. Natalie received 33%, Mia received 30%, and Gianna received the rest. Part A, what percentage of votes did Gianna receive? Part B, if Gianna received 20 votes, how many students voted in the election? And Part C, how many students voted for each candidate? You have to think back about what you know about percents and equivalent fractions and proportions. Percent means out of 100. So when you're looking at these four candidates, each percent, when you add all four numbers up, will equal 100%. We know Hannah, Natalie, and Mia's percentages. The missing piece will fill the gap up to 100%. So you have to figure that out. That's part A. Part B. Once you figure out what percentage Gianna's votes are, you're going to set up a proportion where the percentage is one fraction and the number of votes is the other fraction, where your numerator of your votes is 20 and the denominator is how many people voted, okay? And that fraction is going to be equivalent to Gianna's percentage, where the number portion of the percentage is your numerator and 100 is the denominator. And then you just use what you know about equivalent fractions to figure out the missing piece. Once you have that missing piece, you're going to reverse the process and set up a proportion for Hannah, Natalie, and Mia. When you work on the proportions for the other three candidates, you're going to run into some decimals. So you're going to have to round the number of people who voted. You have to think about the situation. Because your rounding rules say 5 or more raise the number up, 4 or less go down. We're dealing with people and percentages. And you have to think, if I round down, am I going to hit my 12%? If I round up, do I hit my 12%? And that thought process is going to dictate what number you round to. Because remember, we're dealing with people. You can't have a part of a person. Okay, so that's important to know for part C. And ultimately, once you get the four numbers for part C, they should add up to the number you got for part B, because part B is the total number of voters, and part C is how many people voted for each of the candidates. All right, so just like the percent numbers add up to 100%, the numbers in part C will add up to the number you found in part B. Any questions on your POW, let me know in class. You need to put your answers to all three parts in sentences, complete sentences, explain the steps you took, and show me your work.